Hello and welcome to our channel. This is Pastor Dumisani. We're still trying to answer the question of how one finds the will of God concerning his life. In our first video, we covered the definition of a will. In our second video, we covered the contents of a will and the location of a will, where the will is kept. So in our current video, let us look into the matter of how one is expected to live in order to accomplish or to fulfill the will of God. For our scripture reference for today will be Ephesians chapter number 5, verse 16 to 17. It reads as follows: Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. In this scripture, Paul is admonishing the people who are living in the city of Ephesus. He is telling them to be careful how they live and to utilize every opportunity they have to the utmost best. And is further saying they should be wise in their lifestyle. He highlights that there is a correspondence between wisdom and knowing the Lord's will. In verse 17 is saying, do not live foolish, but be wise, know the Lord's will. So this informs us that living outside the will of God, according to our scripture reference, is foolishness. And living according to God's will is wisdom. He further highlights the fact that the days in which the people were living in were evil. They are just like the days we are living in. The best way to live your life in our days is to live according to the patterns of heaven, because God has designed a will and kept it in the office of the Christ. So if we are to live our lives properly, we need to be wise. So wisdom is obtained through knowing the will of God. So I would like us to also refer to another scripture where Paul speaks about himself in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 10. He's saying, by the grace that God has given unto me, as a master builder, I have laid the foundation. So you understand, when you're dealing with people like Paul, those guys knew the grace that had been administered to them through the will of God. We will further talk about this matter in our next video. Please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button for further updates.